My daughter was 7 years old. My wife Emily suddenly and resolutely wanted a divorce. She was determined to marry Victor, her first love. I begged her not to divorce me for the sake of our daughter, but she and Victor conspired against me. As a result, I became disabled. At my most desperate, Emily's nemesis Sophia saved me. She didn't mind that I was a widower with a daughter. She stood up to the pressure and married me. She promised to love me forever. A year later, my daughter suddenly became seriously ill. I was the only one who could donate a kidney to her, but I overheard their conversation outside the hospital room. "Mom, do you think it will work if I pretend to be sick?" Sophia gently stroked her head. "Lily, only if you pretend to be sick. Will Dad agree to donate a kidney? That way we can save Uncle Victor." "Great. I've been sick of Dad for a long time. I want Victor to be my dad." I've always been sincere with her. I never imagined she had been playing me. The mother and daughter finished talking. I carried the fruit tray. My hands were shaking. The door suddenly opened. Sophia and I looked at each other. She froze for a moment. Then she said, "John, what are you doing here?" I quickly wiped my face. "I've come to bring you fruit." My daughter Lily pouted. "I don't like fruit. Uncle Victor is taking me out for ice cream." Before she could finish, Sophia covered her mouth. Sophia looked at me a little embarrassed. "John, I have to take Lily for a medical checkup. I'll be back later. Stay at home and take care of yourself." After they left, I sat in my chair for a long time. I actually knew about this a long time ago. Last time, she pretended to take me for a medical checkup. I thought she had discovered my illness. But in fact, she and the doctor discussed the whole time about how I could voluntarily donate a kidney. Now hearing these words with my own ears, it still feels really hard. I turned on the phone surveillance. Sure enough, they didn't go to the hospital. Instead, they went to my suburban villa. That house was the marital home I had saved up for Lily, but now it was occupied by Victor and a child who had just turned 1 year old. Sophia snuggled in Victor's arms. She gently kissed the baby's forehead. Lily cooed at the baby, saying, "My little sister, grow up quickly. I'll take you to play with me in the future." They looked like a happy family, but I felt my blood rush to my head. At that time, Victor had just divorced my ex-wife. They were having a bitter divorce. I thought Sophia would be happy to hear the news, because when she saved me that day, she hated Victor to the core. She even said, "John, I'll help you get rid of that bastard Victor." I looked at her and saw sadness in her eyes, and a little joy. They then started chatting again. Victor turned pale, coughing a few times. It didn't look like he was in good health. He asked Sophia, "Can we make Lily pretend to be sick and fool John?" Sophia looked at him, with pain in her eyes. "Victor, don't worry. I'll lie to him first and say that Lily is sick, and ask him to donate a kidney, so you can be saved. You two have had your differences in the past. He definitely won't want to donate his kidney to you directly." Victor asked, pretending to be worried. "If I do this, he won't hate you, will he?" Sophia sounded a little worried. "So what? I can't just stand by and watch you suffer kidney failure. As for him, I'll take care of him for the rest of his life. That's enough." Victor hugged her tightly and said affectionately, "In my heart, you're my wife. I'll love you forever." They immediately embraced and kissed. Lily covered her eyes next to them and said shyly, I turned off the surveillance camera. My heart felt like it was being bitten by ants. Then I made a phone call to someone, arrange a fake death for me, make it look convincing. After the call, I sat quietly by the window. Sophia and I grew up together. We have always been very close. Victor was my ex-wife's first love. He was my best man when I got married. Sophia reminded me repeatedly on my wedding day that Victor and my ex-wife had some intimate movements in the dressing room. I didn't believe it at first, but after getting married, I accidentally discovered that she was cheating. When I wanted to expose them, they broke my leg together. Since then, I have had to use a prosthetic leg. I remember that I was devastated at the time. Sophia cried and fell on my lap, cursing. You had to marry her. She and Victor are both bad people. She grabbed a kitchen knife. She was going to kill someone. I held her down with all my strength. I prevented her from making a terrible mistake. So what if she goes to prison? They bullied you so much. I'll go to prison if I have to and kill them to avenge you. But this is the kind of person who doesn't care about her life. And now she wants to take my life. Sophia called me, urging me to hurry to the hospital. When I arrived at the ward, I saw Lily looking sick, lying on the bed. The makeup effect was quite realistic. Dad, I'm in so much pain. Sophia wiped away her tears. Her eyes were full of sadness. John, the doctor said Lily's illness can't wait any longer. She needs a kidney transplant. If you're the only one in our family who can donate, I'll do it myself. I asked coldly. Have you had a matching test? Sophia was stunned by this question. I continued, I need to see the medical report. If Lily can't be cured here, let's transfer her to another hospital. Sophia's face changed. She pinched Lily. Lily immediately burst into tears. Bad father, you just don't want to save me. Lily is going to die. Oh. Sophia continued, John, although you are not in good health, Lily is your only daughter. How can you bear to watch her die? So she's so good at using morality to kidnap people. No wonder. She loves Victor so much. There's no acting that she can't do in front of me, but I don't want to. We'd better find a kidney source as soon as possible. I'm also disabled. I can't donate a kidney. Sophia was desperate. How can you be so heartless? I turned around and looked her straight in the eyes. I said, let's get a divorce. I'll take my daughter with me. I'll find a kidney donor. Lily is my biological daughter. She's just the stepmother. I can't take her with me. Sophia panicked. Lily was the bargaining chip she used to force me to donate a kidney. No way, you can't divorce me. Lily kicked and punched. She cried and shouted, I don't want to go with you. I want my mommy. You're a bad person. I don't want you. The sound of heartbreaking sobs came from the hospital corridor. Sophia, pale as a sheet, came running after me. But I had already left with Lily. I knew in my heart, my daughter was actually perfectly healthy. I had deliberately delayed the donation. The only ones who were really worried were Sophia and Victor, so let them worry. Back home, I locked the door, kept Sophia out. The phone rang and rang. Lily was crying like crazy, and she bit my arm, leaving several wounds. I don't seem to feel any pain. I just crouch down and ask her, Lily, do you really dislike your father that much? Lily screams, her voice changing. I hate you most of all. I want my mommy and daddy Victor. I open my mouth, but no sound comes out. I've looked after Lily since she was little. No matter how busy I was always there for her. I don't understand why she hates me so much. Maybe her mother has been teaching her to hate me. I stayed at home for 2 days without going out. Then the door was forced open. A group of policemen came in. They were followed by reporters. As soon as I saw Sophia's face, everything became clear. Mom, Lily threw herself into her arms. The police took out their body cameras. They said to John, you are suspected of kidnapping and illegally imprisoning a child. Come with us. Before I could say anything, Lily pointed at me and said with a sob, Officer, he's the bad man who kidnapped me. He even said he was going to sell me to a human trafficker. Oh no, Lily didn't want to be sold. Sophia's tears were brimming in her eyes. She looked so miserable. John, I understand that you don't want to donate a kidney to your daughter, but you can't treat her badly because of that. I said coldly, I don't mean anything by it. I just want a divorce. And I want custody of our daughter. Lily suddenly shouted, saying that her father would rather she died than donate a kidney to her. The mother and daughter cried bitterly. The scene was touching. The flashbulbs kept flashing. Every move on the scene was broadcast live. Before long, I was trending on the search engines. Everyone was cursing me, calling me a bad person and a demon for abusing my daughter. I was fired from my company, and I was locked up for several days before being released. The whole world was turning against me. Sophia, the instigator, was waiting at the gates of hell. She looked a little tired, but her words were firm. John, everyone is looking at you now. You must donate this kidney. I was silent for a long time. Then I said, okay, I'll donate a kidney. I'm going to go completely anyway. Donating a kidney is a complete break with Lily as my daughter. In this way, when I go in the future, I can rest easier. Sophia paused for a moment. Then she said, moved, John, thank you. I withdrew my hand. You don't have to thank me. Lily is my daughter. We don't need to say thank you to each other. When I left, I heard the conversation on the bugging device. Great, Victor, he agreed. You're saved. Sophia couldn't contain her excitement. She cheered with Lily in the hospital room. My wife, my daughter, and the one they can't see. The broken me. The operation was a week away. Sophia was afraid I would run away. She put several locks on the door. She moved in with Lily and Victor. The next day, I was about to lie on the operating table, but I heard some bad news. My mother had a stroke in the nursing home. She was in intensive care. I turned pale with fear. I hurriedly said to Sophia, please, postpone the operation for 1 day. I have an emergency. I must go see my mother one last time. The operation can be done at any time. Please. Sophia looked coldly at me and rebuked me sternly. No, the operation must be done today. Lily can't wait. No matter how I cried and screamed, she ignored me. She told the bodyguards to tie me firmly to the bed. You're breaking the law. Let me go. My mother is dying. Sophia. Sophia listened, as if she had heard something really funny. You want to run, do you? Okay, she sneered, and raised her hand to smash my prosthetic leg with the cane. In an instant, my leg was only halfway down, when my heart ached so much it was almost numb. I was given an anesthetic, and soon passed out. When I woke up again, I saw Victor standing there in a hospital gown. He stared at me with a cold smile. Next to him was a drooling dog. You're really stupid. I would have left a long time ago. I looked at him nervously. What are you going to do? Victor sneered. He held up a blood-stained bag. He said, this is the kidney you just had surgery to remove. I opened my eyes wide. I saw him throw my bloody kidney. He said, I don't even have kidney disease. That was a lie to deceive Sophia. I want your kidney, just to feed the dog. I didn't think you would really give it. Ha ha. I watched the dog wolf down my kidney. At that moment, I completely broke down. Get out of here. I grabbed things and threw them out indiscriminately. Immediately afterwards, the door was pushed open. Sophia came in with a thermos. As soon as she saw what I was doing, she was shocked. She quickly pulled Victor behind her for protection. What are you doing? Are you crazy? Victor said helplessly. Sophia, I just wanted to bring the dog to see him. I didn't expect him to suddenly get angry. Sophia gritted her teeth in anger. Pointing at me, she said, apologize. My tears were all over my face. My heart felt like it had been stabbed a few times. I had already completely given up on this person, but why does it still hurt so much? I won't apologize, Sophia. He used my kidney to feed the dog. Sophia froze for a moment. Then she frowned. You're out of your mind. To make me feel guilty, you actually made up such a lie. Forget it. I won't argue with you. Hurry up and apologize to Victor. I suddenly laughed. The old Sophia, if someone said a bad thing about me, she would fight with them. Now, but she's pointing a knife at me. I stare blankly at Sophia's face. I can't help but laugh. Tears run salty down my mouth. Sophia freezes for a moment. She comes over with a complex expression. John, stop it. You have 3 days left. Sophia freezes for a moment. What did you say? In 3 days, I'll be completely free. I wipe away my tears, wave my hand and say, get out. I don't want to see you again. After the surgery, I was still very weak, but I still managed to organize my mother's funeral alone. Sophia made up an excuse, saying that she had to take care of Victor. She stayed with him in the hospital for 2 days. On the last day, Sophia told me to rest in the hospital room. She said she had to take care of her daughter. Before she left, she gave me a tight hug. John, after your daughter and you are discharged from the hospital, I will get you the best bionic prosthetic limbs, and take you both to Disneyland. That afternoon, Victor sent a photo of a plane ticket for the 4 of them to the Maldives. He said triumphantly, John, you'll never be as good as me. I turned off my phone and waited for my pickup. John, your fake death has been arranged. Please come with us. I nodded. I followed the man away. Sophia, we will never see each other again in this life. After boarding the plane, Sophia's heart had been beating fast. Someone asked her, Sophia, what's wrong? Sophia shook her head and said, nothing, I'm just a little tired. Victor handed her a glass of water. He said with concern, have some cola? Close your eyes and rest for a while. Sophia smiled a little awkwardly. She never drank cola because John was very concerned about her health. For some reason, she suddenly thought of John. In fact, she felt a little bit dizzy now. Whenever she wasn't feeling well, John would immediately notice. Then he would get her a plaster. She closed her eyes. John's pale face appeared in front of her. A sudden stab of pain shot through her heart. She felt that it wasn't a big deal. After this trip was over, she would break up with Victor for good. Then she would go back and spend time with John. After all, John was her husband. But as soon as the plane landed, her phone started blowing up. Sophia frowned. She thought it was John calling. But when she picked up the phone, she heard the voice of the police station. This is the XX police station. We have found your husband's body. Please come immediately to claim it. As soon as the words fell, Sophia felt as if all the blood in her body had drained away. Her whole body instantly stiffened. You're talking nonsense. My husband is clearly in the hospital. Before she could finish speaking, the phone received a photo. John's body had been burned beyond recognition. The police said he had died in a self-immolation in his home storage room. After seeing the photo, Sophia immediately hurried to buy a return flight ticket. Victor was looking at the travel guide next to her. Seeing this situation, he frowned. Sophia, what are you doing? We're on vacation. Why are you always on the phone? Sophia said anxiously. I have to go back. Something happened to John. He's dead. Victor looked surprised. When he saw the photo, a flash of relief crossed his eyes, but he pretended to be sad and said, "That's really regrettable. Why don't we go back after we're done and attend his funeral? After all, we've come here. You going back now would be a real letdown." Lily put her arms around Victor's neck and pouted at Sophia. "Mom, if Dad's dead, then he's dead. You'd better come with me quickly." "Stop it." Sophia slapped Lily hard. She yelled uncontrollably, "He is your father. He is your father. How can you treat him like this?" Lily's face swelled up from the blow. After a few seconds of silence, she burst into tears. "Wow, how could you do that? You actually hit me." "Victor, Dad, come help me teach her a lesson." Victor stared at Sophia with dissatisfaction. He didn't want to let her go. He casually pushed Lily aside. "Don't you dare mess with me." Lily was stunned by the yelling. It's a pity. These two people are not her biological parents. They simply don't care about her when things happen. Sophia returned to China immediately. When she claimed the body, she almost fainted several times, especially when she saw the watch on the body's wrist. Her eyes were red as if they were about to bleed. "The watch, it was the first gift I gave him, John." Sophia couldn't speak because she was crying. The watch was a second-hand watch she bought for John. After she got her first salary from her new job, she bought the watch for John because when she was being bullied by some punks, John took a bottle and defended her. That moment she will never forget. The energetic John she once knew is now just a corpse. Sophia spent the whole day at home drinking and breaking down. She didn't even bother going to work. The house was empty. Everywhere there were traces of John. The warehouse had burned down, but the rest of the house was intact. There was no surveillance camera in the house. No one knew what had happened. It wasn't until the neighbors smelled the burning smell and called the police that everyone realized something had happened. The police initially concluded that John had committed suicide. He deliberately locked himself in the warehouse. The walls of the warehouse were made of alloy. He poured gasoline on his body. He didn't want the fire to spread. He didn't leave a suicide note. There was only a signed divorce agreement on the table. In short, if he had the slightest desire to live, he could have opened the door and asked for help. Sophia completely lost control. For several days, she didn't wash her face or change her clothes. She kept slapping herself at home. She cried and laughed. "John, why did you go? I miss you so much." Lily walked out of the room barefoot. She covered her stomach. She looked uncomfortable. She said to her mother, "Mom, I don't want to eat instant noodles anymore. I feel sick." Sophia sat there motionless. It was as if she hadn't heard anything, but Lily's face was very pale. She was curled up in a ball. "I threw up and pooped earlier. Mom, I feel sick. Oh no, I miss Dad." Lily suddenly remembered. In the past, whenever she felt sick, her father would hug her tenderly and take her to the doctor. Usually, if she had a little illness or injury, her father would have already given her medicine. But now, no one was looking after her. Sophia looked at her helplessly. In the end, she took her to the doctor. She also called Victor. The diagnosis was gastroenteritis. After asking about her diet over the past few days, the doctor immediately scolded, "You parents are so irresponsible. You give your child cold, fried food. How could you not get sick?" Victor was about to leave impatiently. Suddenly a nurse recognized him. "It's you, the person who fed their kidney to the dog." Victor's face immediately changed. "Don't talk nonsense. Go." Sophia froze in place. She turned to the nurse and asked, "What did you mean by what you just said? Who fed their kidney to the dog?" The nurse glared at them. She took out her phone and played the surveillance video. "I have been a nurse for so many years. I've never seen anything like it. If I hadn't switched on the security cameras that day, I wouldn't have believed that such a rare scene could happen." The video showed the scene that day when Victor took the dog to provoke John. "I have to tell you, I actually don't have kidney disease." That was a lie to Sophia. "I just wanted to feed your kidney to the dog. I didn't expect you to actually give it to me. Ha ha ha." Victor's arrogant laughter echoed through the hospital corridor. Everyone was stunned. Sophia's face turned a frightening shade of white. She asked, "You've been lying to me, haven't you?" Victor was terrified. He still tried to put up a front. "Those videos are fake. They were all faked. You have to believe me." The nurse snorted. "When John broke his leg, I nursed him myself. I really like John. I think he's a nice guy. When I saw him leave that day, I checked the security camera. Unfortunately, I wasn't on duty that day. If I had been, I would have called the police and had you arrested." Victor tried to explain, but Sophia slapped him hard. Sophia's face was grim. Her eyes were full of anger as she stared at him. "Victor, you bastard, I'll make you pay." At that time, I was living in a nursing home abroad. The nursing home was run by my relatives. Although my parents were no longer alive, my relatives treated me very well. They gave me a place to live. Life without a kidney is really hard. I feel empty every time I sleep on my side. I'm often woken up in the night. The doctor tells me to take supplements every day. I've also bought a lot of ginseng myself. That's what's keeping me going. My health is slowly improving. An old friend of my parents makes bionic prostheses. He's helping me to customize a new bionic prosthesis. "John, try it on." I try it on with the bionic prosthesis. It feels very natural and comfortable. It's like my own leg has come back. I suddenly remember, the prosthetic leg Sophia made for me was very uncomfortable. Every time I put it on and walked, the contact points would wear through. It even got infected and I had a sore. She always looked at my leg with disgust. In fact, there were early signs of this. "Thank you. The bionic prosthetic leg is very easy to use. A relative introduced me to a company abroad. I got the job. I worked hard at this company. Soon I earned my first money abroad. Life was full, but sometimes I still think about the days of failure. I still have nightmares at night. I feel a little sad, but I tell myself right away, that's all in the past. John, you've already started over." That day, I went golfing with the boss of my partner. Suddenly, I got a message from my best friend on my phone. "Sophia is looking for you like crazy. She found out that the corpse was fake. Now she doesn't believe you're dead at all. She's even called me. The only person in China who knows I'm alive is my best friend. I don't understand. Common sense would dictate that my death would have fulfilled her wish for her and Victor. Why is she looking for me?" Then my friend sent me a video of Lily. Lily is in the hospital. She's so thin. Her hair is a mess. It looks like she doesn't take care of it. It's a bit embarrassing to say. Even though I'm a man, I've always done Lily's hair. I can braid, and I can give her a princess bun. These things, Sophia can't do. She told me. She's a career woman. She can't do these little things. In the video, Lily cries out, "Dad, come back soon." I was wrong, but I don't feel anything. I muttered to myself, "But you said it yourself. You don't want me." I reminded my childhood friend, "Don't tell anyone where I am." It wasn't long before I saw the news again about Sophia. She was trending, this time because she had revealed the despicable things Victor had done. Victor couldn't take it anymore. He fought Sophia right there on the street. Their video was filmed. The CEO of Sophia Group fighting in the street, which caused a public outcry. But Sophia didn't care. She started a live broadcast online, crying and shouting, "John, I know you're watching. It's all my fault. I was cheated by that man Victor. I only love you. Please give me another chance." This scene triggered a heated debate online. Everyone was guessing who this John was she was talking about. Sophia quickly uploaded my identity information and issued an announcement to find me worldwide. Her high-profile search for her husband in China won the sympathy of many netizens. Some even took the initiative to retweet and spread the news to help Sophia find me. This made me very angry. What the hell are these people doing? I thought the fake death plan was foolproof. How did Sophia find out that the corpse was fake? But it wasn't long before someone took a photo of me walking on the street abroad and sold it to Sophia for a high price. One rainy night, she called my name, trying to get me to relent. I just found it annoying. The fat old neighbor man next door yelled at her to stop, said she was disturbing his sleep. The next day, Sophia came to see me. She said, "John, believe it or not, I need to explain myself to you." I didn't have time to deal with her, but she just stood in front of my car. She said she was with Victor purely by accident. At the time, I had just married Sophia. Victor, on the other hand, had just divorced my ex-wife. He was wandering aimlessly around the streets. In contrast, Victor looked pitiful. Sophia took him to a fancy restaurant. She poured wine in his face and humiliated him. But instead of getting angry, Victor looked at her submissively. He asked if he could stay for the night. Sophia inexplicably took him in and let him stay in the villa I bought. At first, she just wanted to torment Victor and take out her anger on him. But because I am a disabled person with limited mobility, I wasn't satisfied in bed. Unbeknownst to herself, Sophia had sex with Victor, and it was out of control from then on. Later, Victor lied to her, saying that his marriage was miserable. His ex-wife was crazy about her affairs. She didn't love him at all. John, after that, I softened my heart. I didn't know that everything he said was a lie. In fact, it was after he married your ex-wife that he gambled away all his money. Your ex-wife divorced him. When I heard this, Sophia gnashed her teeth in anger. Even the child, the 1-year-old he brought back, wasn't his. He just wanted me to feel sorry for him. He just adopted someone else's child. When it came to the child, I froze for a moment. Sophia walked up to me. I asked her where Lily was. Her eyes lit up. She squeezed my hand and said, "Don't worry, Lily is with my parents. She's fine. As long as you come back with me, our family will be reunited." Reunited? I sneered. It was easy for her to say, but I had no intention of starting over with her. Now that you know the secret of my fake death, go back and sign the divorce papers. Sophia's face immediately turned pale. She said, "No, I'm not getting a divorce. You'll be my husband for the rest of your life." There's nothing more to say. I didn't want to deal with her anymore. I turned the car around and drove off, but I didn't expect Sophia to be so persistent. She desperately tried to win me back. She used all the girlish tricks she had used when we were dating, but I just felt disgusted. I avoided her at all costs. My relatives knew about the damage Sophia had done to me in the past, so they didn't look kindly on her. But Sophia is thick-skinned. No matter how I rejected her, she just wouldn't go away. That morning I got up for my morning exercise. I found her crouching in front of my house. Frost was still clinging to her hair. As soon as she saw me, her eyes lit up. "John, you're awake. Let me go with you for your morning exercise." I frowned. "Don't come again." Disappointment filled her eyes, but she still followed me in silence for a long time. I ran and stopped. I turned around and faced her. "I don't understand why you're still following me. I'm already disabled. Thanks to you, I also lost a kidney. It's already hard enough to survive. What more do you want? Do you want my other kidney?" Sophia blushed at what I said. "That's not true. I never wanted to hurt you. I love you." Love? I smiled helplessly. Her love for me will only make me die faster. "Sophia, do you remember the vows you made to me? You said you would love me forever, protect me, give my ex-wife and Victor back everything they did to me. But I feel like you've forgotten. When Victor and my ex-wife broke my leg, you said you wouldn't live with them, but then you lied to me for Victor's sake. I was already disabled. Now I've lost a kidney. What you did was no different from killing someone. How can I possibly go back with you?" Sophia trembled all over. Tears welled in her eyes. She was silent for a long time. Then she said, "I will repay you with my life. I don't care anymore." As she turned to leave, I felt as if she had suddenly aged a lot. Sophia was just like she had always been. Every day, she brought me breakfast and lunch on time. She had never done this before. Now she buys me expensive gifts every day, writes sweet love letters. I couldn't take it all in at once. After a long time, her assistant called, saying something had happened at the company back home. "Sophia, you need to come back quickly. Victor stole company secrets and sold them to a competitor. We're in big trouble." Sophia really had a bad luck. She didn't guard against Victor at all. Not only did she give him the position of assistant, and even gave him the combination to the safe, but Victor stole the company's most important secrets, and now he's sold them to a rival company. That company belongs to my ex-wife. I remember Sophia and my ex-wife have always been rivals. They have been fighting in the business world for many years. Now Victor sees that things are not going well. He has returned to my ex-wife to reconcile. The bargaining chip he used to show his goodwill is Sophia's most important company secrets. Sophia returned to China to deal with Victor. I finally had peace and quiet. My health also improved a lot. After a few days, there was another unfamiliar phone call on my phone. I didn't want to answer it, but the caller kept calling. I thought it was Sophia, but when I answered the phone, I heard a voice with a hint of tears in it. "Dad." I was stunned. I hadn't heard Lily's voice in a long time. Hearing it now felt surreal. "Dad, it's Lily. You don't want me anymore." I didn't hang up, but I didn't soften my tone either. That cry of Dad reminded me of the time she had bitten my arm so hard she wouldn't let go, and accused me of abusing her. How heartless. "Lily, I'm not your father anymore. Victor is your father." Lily retorted immediately and loudly. "No, I only have one father, and that's you. I don't like Uncle Victor at all. And Mom." Her voice grew smaller and smaller, complaining that no one cared about her in her new home, and that she didn't dare speak up when she felt unwell every day. I said, "Sorry, because you slandered me before. I'm afraid to be your father anymore. Who knows if you'll slander me as a kidnapper one day. I can't take it." I didn't wait for her to finish crying. I hung up the phone directly. The little princess who was spoiled by me before Now she can only rely on other people. But this is her own choice. She has to bear it herself. Children don't understand. Only when they hurt will they remember who is good to them. My career is going well. I have many excellent women showing interest in me. I just smile every time I show them my scars. I'm not very mobile. Would you still choose me? The ladies all say they don't mind. They say I'm the best they've ever met. I don't believe in promises anymore. I heard from Sophia again. It was when I first returned to China to start a new business. She had someone hurt Victor's back. Victor is now the target of everyone's blame. This time he really needs a kidney, but no one wants to donate to him. Everyone hopes he will go away soon. Sophia found me triumphantly. John, I damaged Victor's kidney. It's revenge for you. Do you want to see how he looks now? Hearing Sophia's voice, I feel uncomfortable. Don't you blame me for what you did. I never advocate violence against evil. Victor's mistake should be punished by the law. Sophia's behavior now disgusts me. Sophia stammered for a long time, saying that what she did was all for my sake. But, in the end, the trouble still fell on me. A few days later, Victor kidnapped my daughter Lily. He called, letting me hear my daughter's heart-wrenching screams. My heart ached. Victor, what the hell do you want? John, you have made me unable to see the light for the rest of my life. So I had to let you die. Victor had gone mad. He told me to go alone with the money. He also said that if I reported to the police, he would kill Lily. I thought about it. In the end, I did what he said. When I arrived at the pier, Victor had tied Lily to a boat. He told me that there was a bomb in the cabin. He took the money bag from me. He pointed a gun at me. He forced me onto the boat. Lily was crying and screaming, "Dad, come save me." I sighed helplessly. I was about to board the boat. Suddenly, I heard Sophia scream behind me. John, don't go up there. Victor, if you want revenge, I'll be your hostage. Victor's face turned pale. It seemed like he wanted to do something to Sophia right away. I saw this scene and was a little surprised. I didn't think Sophia would go to such lengths for me. Didn't she not love me? Just as I was thinking, Sophia took the opportunity to pounce on Victor. You're a bad man. Don't you want to live? I will never let you hurt John again. We'll all go down together. Sophia and Victor wrestled on the ground. I understood that she was buying me time to escape. I nodded gratefully. Put Lily down. Pick her up. Suddenly, there was a gunshot. I didn't react. I just saw blood splatter in front of me. Sophia fell to the ground. Her face suddenly turned pale. I was terrified. But then Victor pointed the gun at me. John, go to hell. My heart suddenly stopped. Instinctively, I pushed Lily away. The gunshot rang out again. I thought I was definitely going to die this time, but it was Victor who fell. It turned out that the police had arrived in time. The shot was fired by the police. Victor was killed instantly. Lily was rescued. She threw herself into my arms and cried, "Dad, I'm sorry. I really missed you." My eyes welled up. I couldn't bring myself to do it. Sophia was shot in the rain. She became a vegetable. She probably long anticipated this disaster. Before she came, she transferred her company and all her assets to me. She said, "I owe you this. I'll give it all to you, and I want to tell you that I love you." I quietly accepted the money, donated most of it to charity. The rest I will manage well, use it to develop my own business. After Lily experienced the kidnapping, she suddenly became much more mature, but it seems that she can't get over the psychological shadow. She feels ashamed to face me. She proposed to move out. When she was in high school, I received her excellent report card and a handwritten letter. "Dad, I'm sorry. It was all my fault before. I don't ask for your forgiveness. I just hope that when I grow up, I can have the opportunity to properly filial piety to you." After saying these words, the paper was left with traces of tears. I put the letter away. I closed my eyes. A gentle breeze blew. I felt particularly relaxed.